So this beer is kind of funny because it's got wine in the name as well. So is it a beer? Or is it a wine? Ooh. Beer, 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 beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski from the Brewski Review. And today the beer that I have for you guys is from the Burdock Brewing Company out in Toronto, Ontario. This is their Orange Wine Saison 3. Like I said, is it a beer? Is it a wine? We'll find out. I'm gonna guess it's a beer though, because it just says it's aged on white grape skins from Pearl Morissetti. I'm not too sure how to say it, but hey, that's pretty cool. 6.3% ABV, no listed IBUs. Again, this is a gifted beer gifted to me by my godbrother and his wife. Thank you again so much for the beer. Really excited about it, especially from Burdock, because I don't get down there. And I've only had the Tuesday before, and that was, I remember that being pretty damn good. So let's crack this bottle open. Let's see what we got. Please don't explode everywhere, and I don't think you will. Oh, the cap seems to be a little larger than usual. Right? It is a bit larger of a cap. Kind of cool. We got our Wellington, what is that in there? Oh, whatever. Wellington pint glass. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it's a fairly light colored beer. It's a really light colored beer. I'll give it about that much. What's that? Maybe half-ish. Holy shit. I don't think I've ever seen a beer that light. Like, that is white, more or less. It is just the lightest of yellows. You know what it looks like? It's gonna sound a little weird. It looks like, you know, when you drank a lot of like just liquids in general and then go take a piss? Kind of what it looks like. Hydrated pee. But actually pretty cool color. Never seen a beer like this. A little bit of haze to it. Not much head on top. I'm excited about the nose. So we got a Saison, orange wine, and aged on white grape skins. Okay, let's see. And super funky. Super funky. There's definitely some wild yeast going on in this bad boy, I want to say. Does not say. But on the nose, sour notes, tart notes, white grapes. Does kind of smell like white wine. Sweet and acidic. No orange. I don't think there's actually oranges. This says on orange wine skins. I don't know what orange wine skins are, but okay. And you get a slight little barnyard note, like from a Saison. And just a little bit of like a white pepper. Almost like a, not coriander. Interesting. Interesting stuff indeed. Let's dive in. Ooh, okay. Okay, where do I start with this one? It goes from reminding you of like a Berliner Weiss with the sour note, moves into a light barnyard note, what you get from a Saison, and then turns really sweet, like sugar water sweetness on the back end. Those are the main like top 3 contending flavors that are going on with this. Pretty interesting indeed. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but let's just keep going. So cheers everybody, let's keep on drinking. Yeah, tart, sour, like a lemon, moving into a light, like super light, just a wisp of a barnyardy note. And then finishing, like if somebody took a white wine and then added like sugar cubes to it, like a lot of sugar cubes, so the white wine acidity is really low and then the sugar's kind of higher. Very similar note to that on the back end. Interesting. Holy shit, I'm so confused. I like the beginning of it, that soury note. The barnyard's kind of cool. The sweetness isn't bad. It's just after the sweetness, there's a little lingering, almost like kind of reminds me of like burning plastic on the back end, and just a little bit of the lingering flavor in there. Kinda not a big fan on that finish, on that linger. But the beginning, the middle, and the end of the beer are pretty top notch. Let's see what the bottle has to say. See what's going on with this. So we got Burdock Brewing Orange Wine Saison 3, aged on white grape skins from Pearl Morset. 6.3% ABV. No IBUs on here. Untapped, showing nothing. Website got nothing. Here's what it looks like. Really fancy looking bottle. Pretty damn cool. On the back end, Burdock Orange Wine Saison 3. Saison, aged 1 month on orange wineskins from Riesling, Chardonnay, and Gewürztraminer wine from Pearl Morset in Jordan, Ontario. Pretty damn cool. Produced and packaged by Burdock, 1184 Bloor West, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Bottle. This is dated or bottled on July 7th, 2019. Pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed. No other date codes on here, no best befores, but it's over a year old. Didn't have any offensive flavors from aging or anything, but I'm just getting. It's just weird, that hint of like burnt plastic at the end. It's not there all the time. It's just if you kind of smack the tongue to the top of your mouth, to the roof of your mouth, kind of thing, you might pick it up, but I doubt it's there for everybody. It just might be me and my weird palate. Over on the website though, burdockbrewery.com, you go to the beer section and this beer is not shown on the website. Again, I'm not super familiar with Burdock, if they just do, limited runs of, single beers, or if they can't see that they have like a specific core lineup. But this beer is not here, which is kind of a bummer. I really wanted to know a little bit more about it. If I do click one, you do get some, just a short, sweet description of what's going on with the beer itself, which is kind of cool. Yeah, okay. Would have liked to see, this beer back on the website, but hey, if it was bottled in 2019, well then, it's not going to be on here unless they did it again. Pretty cool stuff though. As for the body of the beer, it's fairly light. Yeah, fairly light. Nothing crazy about it. Doesn't look like there's a lot of carbonation in here, and there's more than you'd expect. But it's not a crazy amount of carbonation. I wouldn't say it's overly crispy, but it's like a lightly carbonated, beverage. Don't know where I was going with that, but okay. Moving over to Untapped Orange Wine Saison 3, has been given a 4.04 bottle caps out of 5, and that's out of 114 ratings. Not too bad. Again, I've never really had anything, had a beer like this style, because it's not strictly a Saison, but it's not a sour or Berliner Weiss. What does Untapped have it on? They have it under as a Saison, but I guess maybe it's because of the wine skins, or not the wine skins, the grape skins or whatever, the orange grape skins. It does add that bit of extra like acidity and soury tartness to it, because if you're going into this thinking it's like your typical Saison, you're going to be wrong. You are going to be wrong on it. So it's definitely like a hybrid between a Saison, a Berliner Weiss, and wine. Pretty cool. Now, would I have this every day? Probably not. Just not something I would want to drink every single day. But as for a nice treat, hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's refreshing. It's fairly clean. Pretty interesting flavors going into this. I'm pretty pleased with this. This is pretty cool. I thought there were gonna be some orange notes in here, but I guess it's not. It's not, orange peels or oranges. We're used to orange. It's just a type of grape. Maybe. I've never heard of an orange grape. Orange wine skins. Don't know what that means. But hey, solid beer. Cheers on the final sip, guys. Let's get right to it and wrap this thing up. Burdock Brewery, Burdock Brewing, Burdock Brewery. Orange, wine, saison, 3. Solid beer. Extremely interesting. Like something it's something I've never experienced before in my life, and I really like that aspect to it. It seems a little bougie, a little posh for beer, to be completely honest. But it's well done. Again, like I said, with that burning plasticky note sort of in the back, that linger, not evident all the time. I think it was only really evident for me twice, but it's just something I needed to note just in case. Some people's palates are a little weird like mine sometimes. But I gotta say, an overly refreshing beer. Beautiful flavors. I love it how it's like a hybrid between a Berliner, a Saison, and like white wine, which is kind of cool. That's just how I'm describing it. Those 3 are like, think of each of those and then put them all together. Drop the Saison a little bit, drop the wine a little bit, and then you have your Berliner Weiss style, tart and souriness sort of a bit higher. Think of it as maybe like a 60, 10, 30 split between the 3 flavor profiles. Pretty damn cool. Overall, solid. You know what? Just because of the wow factor, solid 8.4 out of 10 for me. As for presentation, the bottle that they use is already pretty badass. You got some roses or just flowers, white, yellow little flowers in the background and a green background. Pretty cool. Not a lot of information, but you get a short, sweet description of what's going on with the beer. You get a bottled on date, you get an ABV, and you're pretty good to go. Website, on the other hand, you know what? As for being such a bougie looking, beer and whatnot, the website's fairly basic. And when I say basic, I mean just a little kind of messy almost. I'm not a big fan of their website. It just doesn't seem like it's put together that well. I don't know. That maybe it's just me and my eye, but you know what? That's alright. As for information that's going on here, sadly the beer isn't on the website at the moment. They don't give you too much information looking at other beers here, but they give you just enough to get you by. So presentation, that's a solid 7.5 out of 10 for me. Before I leave you guys, if you have any comments, questions, or beers I want to review in the future, you can leave all that information down in the comment box below. If you want to go ahead and like this video or subscribe to me, Mate Brewski, it would be greatly appreciated as well. And with all that said, that's going to do it for me, Mate Brewski. Like I always say, crack a beer, enjoy. Cheers. Let's pour up this last bit of beer. It's the weirdest beer I've had, but it's been damn good. And I'm pretty excited to get more from Burdock in the future. Cheers.